We're running late. We're running late. Hey, where are we at? Where are we at? Here we go. Here we go. Tree here. Well, let me see here. Got to find my guest here. There she is.
There
She
you
is.
are.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
No, me and the leg morning are getting along just fine this morning. But,
It looks like it.
you like that? Yeah. So now I'm gonna put on my new hat today. I got a new one. So I got a new Lone Star feed and fertilizer. I had it picked up yesterday at the feed store. Yes, I did. So how you doing today?
Good. Real good.
That's
It's
good.
cold here today, so I'm liking that.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. It went down to
Shut
50
up.
here last night.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah.
Oh, 50. Wow.
Yep.
Oh man. I wish. Yeah, it was 108 here yesterday.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy.
it is. I mean, there's burn bans everywhere, and our county just this week they said it's a burn ban, for our county. And I mean, it's dry. I'm on well water out here, so I water the grass every day. So, oh,
Yeah.
there's
I
my
don't know how you guys do it so hot down there.
I know. There's my counterpart right there. She decided to come up on the
Miss
screen.
Bailey.
Bailey, hey, there she is.
Hi, pretty girl.
She's not ready to go on the camera yet. She's coming over my lap here. Yeah. So yeah, she went to the vet's day before yesterday. We went to a new vet right down the road, Waller Companion Animal Hospital. Very nice place, very clean, very great people, everything, great staff, and they're all love chickens, so that's a good thing.
Oh, good. Even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So are you now? You're in Michigan, right?
Yep, I bounce around temporarily here till we get down to Missouri permanently. So every couple months I'm down there and then back up here and then down there and then back up here.
And what's in Missouri? Hello? Uh-oh. She froze up on us. Oh, there you are. Can
Yep.
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, froze up a little bit there. So what's in Missouri?
Cackle Hatchery. I want to be closer to the hatchery so I don't have to bounce back and forth constantly.
Okay. All right. You're going to be more involved with them when you move. You're going to move to Missouri eventually full time?
Yep.
And you'll be working full time then, I guess?
Yeah, and I won't right now I'm down there every couple of months and then I'm remotely with whatever I can do
Yeah.
on my end here. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
So what's your position with Cackle Hatchery?
So I am the poultry care specialist for the hatchery.
And what do you do?
We do a lot of the community outreach programs where we educate newcomers that are coming into the whole hobby. We help train the employees, and we even help with some of the breeding programs that's at the hatchery. So I stay busy.
Yeah. I was reading. I've read about it before, but I was reading in the catalog I have, but I was reading on the website. I mean, they've been around a long time.
Yeah, almost 90 years. And the neat thing about Cackle Hatchery is it's been a family-owned business for all these generations, and the whole almost 90 years that Cackle has been around, it has been a family-owned and ran business. So that's a really unique thing for us.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah.
So I reached out to them last year when they were kind of busy, and they said they'll get back in touch with me in the fall about maybe selling my Chicken Series coffee.
Yeah. That'd be great. I know when I was down in Texas, it was a hot comedy there for the poultry care convention. So that was a really nice little convention and turnout there.
Yeah, it was. So I'm actually going up September the 9th to Waxahachie, Texas.
Okay.
For the Ellis County Poultry Trade Day show.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a flyer. There's a banner. I'm going to pop up real quick. Right there. The biggest little chicken event in Texas.
That's cute.
Yeah, but here, look at this picture. This is the traffic lining up leading into it. Look at this.
Really?
Yes, yes.
So is it a poultry show or is it like a big swap meet type of ordeal?
It's a swap meet. It's meetings, seminars, stuff like that. Vendors. We're going to go out there and do a live podcast. We're going to be out there selling Botcast T-shirts and coffee and all that too.
Yeah.
But I'm going out there to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I want to have that event in this area.
That would be good. We need more. With poultry being such a big thing now. So in 2020, when COVID was just coming onto the scene, poultry was like the thing to do when everyone was at home. Like it was a record year for the industry in 2020. And we thought it was going to kind of fizzle out, go back to normal. Well, this year by Super Bowl, it beat last year's record for sales. So it is still continuously growing. And with such a big growth like this, we need more education out there, more seminars, more places that people get good information from experienced poultry handlers. So the more seminars like that's out there, the better.
Well, I tell people I'm no chicken expert, not at all. And I'm doing this podcast to get the information out, to help people out and so forth. Because, what I learn is from what I hear from people I have on the show and stuff like that, So I think it's important. I was involved with the Harris County Fair. Harris County is a county with the city of Houston's involved in. Mm-hmm. And we had a huge Harris County Fair for many years at a facility called the Houston Farm Ranch Club that I volunteered at for many years. And it went downhill because of the Houston Farm Ranch Club is located in the Alex Reservoir, which is the flood control system for Harris County.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, lately, with all the building and so forth, the flooding got worse and worse. And it actually, eventually, one day, we had like 8 feet of water over Houston Farm Ranch Club.
Oh, wow.
And they just shut it down. And they started moving it around town. They even had it outside of Harris County and like Montgomery County, I think, just so it continued on. And there's someone working on having it again, building a new facility and so forth. But it's just not, working out too well. So what I want to do is I want to start up a poultry event, a tri-county poultry event, Harris County, Waller County, Montgomery County, which is all around me, and have an event on poultry and have not just a trade day show, but also have seminars. But I want to have a competition. I want Howard out there judging chickens.
There you go. Howard's perfect for that.
I know he is. He is. Yep. I mean, he was in Wisconsin over the weekend.
Yeah, I love Howard.
He's great. He comes on once a month now.
That's good.
And he comes on. He loves doing the podcast. He loves it.
Yeah. I'm a talker. I can talk about chickens all day long, but I think Howard has me beat.
Oh, yeah. Howard is just nonstop.
Yeah. He loves it, though. The man lives for the poultry.
He does. And I'm glad to give him a break and have him come in here and sit down.
Yeah.
So that's why I have this chair. This is Howard's chair. That's Howard's chair.
That Bailey's taking over.
That Bailey's sitting on for the show as well, So yeah, Howard was sitting on there 2 episodes ago, and I had one of my chickens with me, which is part of the discussion today about hatcheries.
Yeah.
And I bought 6 leghorns, pullets, and I got 3 pullet hen. I got 3 pullets, leghorns. I got 2 cockerels, and a Delaware pullet. Out of these 6. So I kept the Delaware because she's really sweet. She's really
Delawares are good birds. Yeah.
And she comes right up to me every time. So I brought her in the house for the podcast. And Howard says, "Here, let me have her." And I hand her over to Howard. He's sitting in the chair and he's petting her. And someone gets on the chat and makes a comment and said, isn't this a family show? And I'm like, what? And you look over at Howard and he's petting that chicken. And I mean, it looks like he's choking the chicken. Oh, it was funny. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. So I already got people messaging here.
That's good.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I should bring these up here. People jumping on here and putting up messages. There they are right there. Hey guys, Howard has everyone beat. Yeah, that's Marissa writing that.
Oh, hi, Marissa. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. So And this is a friend of mine. Jeff goes, oh, that's a great clucking idea. Yeah, so yeah, he's a good guy. Jeff's I'm a veteran. Jeff's a veteran.
Okay.
And Jeff does a lot in the veterans community. His whole family are veterans. His wife's a veteran. His sister's a veteran. His brother's a veteran. His father's a veteran, you know. Oh, yeah. Great family. But I think his wife might get into chickens.
It's, there's something to say for like them being therapeutic, too. Like, and it's addicting. It's just, I hear it every day, literally every day. Well, we just got the chickens for the eggs. We got 4. Now we're looking to get 20 or 30. And it's my absolute favorite thing to do is to go out and sit with the chickens. Like, I have yet to hear anyone regret getting chickens. The only thing I hear negative is that they need more. It's not enough. Or now everything is chicken, 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 chicken,
Mm-hmm.
So I hope she gets into chickens.
Oh, yeah, so do I. And there's the Lone Star Chicken Care logo that Howard and Marissa work under. Yeah. So, let me hide all this here. But, yeah. So, did you freeze up again? No,
I'm still here. Yep, I'm still here. There's a little bit of a lag, so I'm reading things at like 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just a little bit behind. Probably are a little bit of a connectivity issue here. I live in Amish country, so.
Yeah. You live in Amish country. Wow.
I do.
Yeah. So last year, my coffee I put in my local feed store down the road from me, D&D Feeds. And so I wanted to buy, they buy from me. I want to buy from them.
Right.
So I bought my pullets from them. And just last week, I was talking with the owner, and she's been discussing the issue with their hatchery.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, hey, I want some pictures of these birds, because not only did we receive a lot of, roosters instead of hens, when we should have gotten hens.
Right.
But my barred rocks were mixed with leg bars.
Oh.
Yeah.
So are they laying yet?
Yeah, they're laying green eggs.
So you got their olive eggers.
Well, I got barred rock chickens. They were black and white chicks.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you'd always see a barred rock chick.
They mixed them up. It sounds like they mixed up at when they were sorting chicks, because Cackle is one of the few hatcheries who our olive eggers look different than everyone else's. Most of everyone else, other hatcheries are the barred chicks. They use leg bars and something else because they have their auto sexing, or their sex linked rather. We use Summer leg bars, and other hatcheries use leg bars and some other black based birds. So they look just like a barred rock when they're little. Leg color might be a little bit different, but if you're just going to go by how a chick looks, you're gonna assume every bird with a white dot on its head that's black is going to be a barred rock. So it sounds like there was a mishap in shipping when they were sorting.
Oh yeah. And I mean, some of them they look nothing like a.
They got the little crest on top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought I brought these pictures up, but I didn't. I'm going to bring some up to show you. These are just unbelievable. But my first eggs I get out of my barred rock coop are green eggs. I was like, what the? What?
Are they at least a pretty green?
Oh yeah, they are. They're beautiful. Yeah, I'll show you a picture of it in a second here. I'll bring it up and so forth. But then I got, I ordered some wine. I purchased some wine dots. I bought 6 of them, and one of them we have no idea what it is.
Do you got a picture?
Yeah, I'll bring up a picture. I'll show you a picture in a second. Howard thinks it's a Branham or something like that, but I don't see the resemblance, But I'll show you in a second here. Yeah, but crazy. So I got 9 Rhode Island Reds, 5 were pullets, 4 were cockerels, 6 blue Plymouth Rocks, and they're all pullets except one had brown hackles.
What were they?
Blue Plymouth rocks.
So the blue Plymouth rocks are not true. They're a hybrid. So sometimes you can get with being hybrid, sometimes you can get genetic recessive genes like the hackles coming in from the parent stock. So with those being a mixed breed, you're going to see discrepancies in the way the offspring look. You're not going to have uniform chicks throughout all the whole order. So they're more like a production blue.
Yeah, yeah. So I got that, and then I'm transferring photos here so I can bring some up to show you. But let me see here. Then I got partridge rocks. I bought 6 partridge rocks, which I love those. And I got 5 pullets and 1 cockerel. You know.
Okay.
And then I got 16 olive eggers. 3 were pullets, 3 were roosters, and then 10 of them died the first night.
Were they shipped to you or to the feed store?
To the feed store, yeah.
Okay. Were they a day old? Like how long were they at the feed store?
Oh, they weren't there. I was there the first day they got them in.
Okay.
Yeah, I was over there first thing in the morning. And I could see I saw them unloading them and everything. But it was just one of these things, you know. They just I bought 10, they all died.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
And that can be stressed from shipping too.
Not
all birds are equal when it comes to being hardy. So sometimes you get some breeds, if they're not very hardy, the shipping is just too stressful on their little bodies.
Yeah.
And, you know, then that kind of stuff happens. Or if they get chilled sometime in shipping, by the time they get to the feed store or someone's home, they have hypothermia already. And, you know, then they just slowly start shutting down till, you know, they unfortunately pass.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, and they took care of me because we're really good friends over there and everything. You know, so they were like, they said, this is the first time in 20 years that had any issues with their chicks. And I said, hey, I believe them, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're good people over there. But, yeah, I'm bringing these pictures up here. Open. Okay, here's one right here. That's one of the barred rocks, cream leg bars. She's laying green eggs.
Yep, that's definitely an olive egger.
Yeah, and
she's cute though. She's cute.
And look at this one.
Yep, that actually looks like just a regular leg bar.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
But all these are in a coop. They have their own coop. I have I have what's called a jailhouse rock coop.
Okay.
Which is all barred rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, and mixed
Except
in
for your olive eggers now.
Yeah, and mixed in there with them is 2 Jersey Giants and 4 Wyandottes, but the rest are all barred rocks. And you know, it's just crazy. And then here's their egg.
I think that hen in particular is an actual leg bar. Leg bar. Any blue egg layer can lay shades of green, the lighter green. So, if a hatchery's not going in and pulling the hens that are laying green eggs when they're supposed to be laying the blue, you're going to get offspring that throw those light sagey, you know, minty green eggs out. So that one does look like an actual leg bar to me.
She does. I mean, because I own leg bars.
Yep.
Yeah, I have leg bars, and I purchased 3 of them, and they're in I call it my colored coop because it's all colored eggs.
Okay.
I have olive eggers, Easter eggers, and cream leg bars in that coop. And I have 2 in there that look just like that, like her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She looks like a leg bar.
Yeah. So I'm just going to leave her in where she's at now because the other coop's not big enough for more birds.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's her egg. And then just the other day, I opened up the egg laying nest, and there's 3 green eggs in there.
Yeah.
And there's 1 brown egg. I'm like, oh, come on, my barred rock chickens. Where's my brown eggs? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll have to get some Cackle barred rocks next year.
I am. So
the heritage ones are.
We got a little freeze here. I'll bring up that picture of her. So they have there we go. There you go.
Yeah.
So what'd you say about the bar box again? The Heritage? Oops, I lost you. There we go.
There we go.
So
Okay.
what'd you say about the Heritage bar box chickens?
The Cackle, if you get the exhibition lines, those are actual heritage lines. So we have on some of our breeds, we have your utility production, and we also have the heritage exhibition, and they are two completely different. You'll find that the utility are a lot kind of smaller. Their breasts and stuff are thinner. Their pelvic floor is thinner versus our exhibition lines, where those are just wide, heavy birds. I mean, they're going to be significantly different. Even like the barring is going to be a lot tighter and neater on the exhibition lines versus our utility. And they're still like, even though they're exhibition, you don't have to show. It's just that they are bred to standard. They're from heritage lines, so you know they're not gonna lay as heavy as our utility lines, but they're still a good dual purpose breed, and they're just nice, fat, fabulous birds and beautiful. I have several. I have like 50 right now in the brooder for the exhibition.
Well, it's already
Yeah.
in my plans to buy exhibition from y'all. The Rhode Island Reds and the Bar Rocks.
Yeah. So I am not a Rhode Island Red super fan.
I love them.
They have never been a favorite of mine. However, our exhibition line, Rhode Island Reds, have won my heart over. They are one of my top 10 favorites now. The most beautiful mahogany color I have ever seen is in our breeding pens for our exhibition lines. And the roosters are friendly, beautiful combs, no side sprigs. I have fallen in love with those. I can't get enough of them. I cannot get enough. And it's just the mahogany color on those birds is just, it's absolutely fabulous.
I can't wait to get some. I'd love to get some now, but I want to wait till it gets cooler before we ship them.
Oh yeah, with it being 108 there, it's
just too hot.
The trucks will be way too hot.
Yeah, so no, I'm gonna wait till it gets cooler. I'd love them. And besides, my brooder just emptied out for the first time in 7 months, and I want to keep it empty for about 7 months. Let air out some, and have my back porch again. Yeah. So, Oh yeah. Yeah, it was so nice cleaning that out for the last time for a while.
Yeah. So I go all year. I don't stop hatching and brooding all year long.
Well, I would too if it wasn't so hot.
Yeah.
It's just. I even drilled holes, like 3-inch holes on the side of my brooder. My brooder's 2 feet off the ground, and it's 2.5 feet deep.
Okay.
It's 4 feet by 4 feet, and it's got 2 double doors on top that's covered in hardware mesh. And it's well ventilated, so on the sides, I drilled 3-inch holes down the side of it, and I put hardware mesh over the holes. Mm-hmm. So I let cross ventilation in there, and then have a fan blowing across them, But it's so hot.
What do you use for your heat source? Are you using lamps?
I use lamps.
You should look into the sweeter heaters.
The what?
They're called sweeter heaters. They're infrared radiant heat. They're one of the best. Like, there's no fire risk or hazard with them at all.
Are you talking about the plates?
They're a little bit different than the plates. Like these, Holly made these before the plates were a thing. Like this is the safest and most energy efficient heating product out there on the market. It's called a speeder heater. I use those on most of mine. I don't use them like day old chicks. They need the heat that first week, but then once they start to kind of get acclimated and starting to feather in, then switch to the heaters. The speeder heater is amazing, and it doesn't heat the environment. So they go under, the heater, and they absorb it that way. So it's not wasted, energy and heat. But in your guys' environment where it's 108 degrees, they're not going to overheat with the speeder heaters, because it's not just pushing out heat everywhere. It's only under that section. So something like that would be just so beneficial for it being so hot down there. So you could have chicks longer.
What I noticed on days when we had freezing temperatures in Houston, in this area,
mm-hmm.
chicks that walked out from underneath the plate died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So because I brood in winter too. When we go down, we can go down to -30 here with the wind chill. It gets pretty
yeah,
cold.
yeah,
In the winter months, I do the heat lamps or ceramic bulbs on like where their feet is. And then I always have my speeder heaters too. But I also have some heated facilities as well. But I still supplement the grow outs and stuff with just low watts of heat too. Because it gets pretty freaking cold here.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I even cover up the end of my brooder with an old quilt.
okay.
Let's keep the cold air from coming in too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the lamps on the other end, so they can get
Uh-huh.
underneath the quilt where it's not as cold,
Right.
so forth. And then I still had the one plate in there, but I also had a lamp in there because the ones that kept walking out
Yeah.
and freezing to death.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's harder to brood in the colder months than it is in the warmer months because of getting that chill when, they walk out from under the heat source.
yeah, yeah. So I've got next week. I've got on a guy that does he does YouTube creating. He's a content creator. He and his wife have a farm in Michigan,
Oh
and
yeah?
yeah, Old Swedes Farm.
We're about.
I couldn't tell you,
I'm
but
gonna look it up here real quick.
yeah, it's Old Swede as in a Sweden. And in fact, I was going to put his logo up because he's coming on next week. Real nice guy. He and his wife have a nice little farm there, but they're actually kind of getting burned out.
It happens. It's a
It
lot of work.
does. It is, and they're wanting to sell a bunch of chickens. They have 80 chickens, and they're wanting to sell them. And I sent him a message that says I wouldn't sell them that many if I were you because you love your chickens. He does. You
Yeah.
can clearly
Yeah.
see
He'll regret it.
he loves his chickens, and you can also clearly see he doesn't like gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, you ought to get rid of your damn garden and just keep the chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent him a message about that. I hope he does. But he's coming on next week
Okay.
and to talk about his farm and all that. And I'm gonna put up his image here in just a second here.
Yep. I just found
Yeah, really nice guy. And the reason I first saw his YouTube channel and I started watching him, and he had on an Army infantry shirt.
Okay.
His name is Rich, and I'm going, man, I know that guy. And I said, I think I served with him at Fort Eustis, Virginia. And because I went with, I had a guy in my company that was named Rich, and he had the same haircut, everything. And come to find out, it wasn't him, but his son serves in the Army, though. I didn't know his son or anything like that. But so we started talking. I invited him on. He goes, yeah, I'd love to come on. So he's going to come on. And he's got a nice place. He does.
Yeah.
But you can clearly see he likes his chickens.
Yeah, I just found them on their Facebook page, but it doesn't have their location, so I couldn't tell you where they are here.
Yeah, I'll find out. But where's it at? There it is. Yeah. So what else is new with you? You got your own little farm, and it's called the Chicken Depot.
No, that's not my farm name anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right now everything is just exclusively with Cackle. So everything that I breed is going to be going down with me to Missouri. So and I work a lot. Let me see if I can pull something. I work a lot with colored egg layers. That's my specialty. Let me see here.
You know about them a lot, that's for sure.
So Morans are the love of my life. That's
I have two.
And I breed for standard, but I also breed for age standard. So you don't want like the typical egg shape on a Moran's egg. They would need to be a little bit more rounded. So that's what I focus on, and also egg color. And this is a pretty good 8 on the egg chart. And then I work a lot with olive eggers as well, in the heavy bloom, like the purple eggs, and speckling and things like that. So,
Oh yeah.
see, so that's what I work with. Morans. I have different varieties of Morans, leg bars, Americana, Pinna de Cinca, Well Summer, and then multi generations of olive eggers and the heavy blooms, and that's my absolute favorite. Is if it throws a colored egg,
I traded a gal a dozen fertilized eggs for 2 bags of coffee.
Oh yeah.
And out of the 12, 9 of them hatched.
And
they're all pullets.
Huh.
I couldn't believe it, yeah. And I got rid of all of them but the Morans because I got 2 Morans, very dark eggs. But then afterwards, I found out that the rooster was an olive egger.
Okay.
So what are my Morans going to look like, I wonder?
So do you know what your olive egger was mixed with to make the olive egger?
I don't.
Did he have feathered feet?
I don't know on that one. I don't know. It was her birds.
So it depends on if she's using homozygous or heterozygous blue-egged parents. If he's homozygous, then that's good. So if he is from homozygous breeding and you bred those to your Morans, the offspring will be like a 50-50 for green or brown shades. If he's from a heterozygous breeding, meaning there's only one copy of the blue egg gene in his in the parents, it's pretty much going to be like an Easter egger. He can be blues, greens, browns, pinks. It's hard to say. So if
one of them has feathers on its feet.
So if there's feathers on their feet, that's the Morans. Is there any crests or beards or muffs? No. It's hard to say with not knowing what the parent stock is and what her genetics are. But hopefully he's from homozygous, so you get either nice browns or darker greens.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I have any pictures of mine, but I got to show you my ugly chicken. My mystery chicken. So, for a long time we couldn't even tell it was a hen or rooster.
Really?
Yeah. So we called it Brittany Griner. And let me find this ugly picture. I'll share a picture of it. There she is. Come on.
So.
There you go.
Does she has a beard too, don't she?
Yeah, and she's really tall. I mean, that's why we thought it was a rooster first, because she was like 5 inches taller than all the other birds.
So does she have a pea comb or a rose comb?
Yeah, kind of a rosy.
Maybe she might be a silky mix with the beard and the crest, or even a Polish mix.
Yeah.
She could be a Polish mix.
Yeah. I purchased her
there's no feathered feet, so.
Yeah, I purchased her with 5 other Wyandottes.
Is that the one that come with in the hatchery?
What's that?
Is this from the hatchery, that bird?
No, it came from the feed store that came from the same hatchery.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely a mix.
Yeah. So now that we know she's a hen, we just call her Brittany. And she knows her name. She's hilarious,
Yeah, she's cute. But she looks like she could be a Polish mix there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of her. I'm gonna hang on to her, but
she's cute.
No, she's hilarious. Yeah. My mixed up birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's with the I have her with the mixed up barred rocks,
Yeah.
So.
That's one thing I can say about Cackle is we don't have we use contract growers. We've been using the same Amish families for generations. Just some of them as long as Cackle has been around, we've been working with the same Amish family. So the generations through the generations, it's passed down too, which is really cool. But we grade our birds and we have our flock managers go out and always have eyes and not just eyes, but hands on the birds too. So, but we limit it like X amount of breeds at this farm and X amount at this one and X amount at this one. And we have them spaced all over. So we have multiple, flocks of barred rocks, multiple flocks of silkies. And because we keep our pins smaller, we have better control of what's going on, breeding wise, so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen.
That's good. That's good.
Yep.
Yep. So when do you plan on moving to Missouri?
I don't have a definitive date yet. Like hopefully sooner than later, because bouncing back between the states is difficult. And it's kind of put me in this like a state of purgatory, not being able to move forward with project at the hatchery, not being able to move forward with projects at home. So sooner than later, right? But like right now, the whole real estate market is it's insane, and it's very competitive. There's a mass migration happening right now from the West Coast. A lot of people are wanting to kind of get into farming and homesteading. So there's a lot of people moving out of the cities into the rural areas to farm and homestead and get chickens. And there's a lot of people buying stuff sight unseen. So I won't do that. So it's been very competitive finding good agricultural land. So once the right place pops up, then it's go time.
That's good.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole like caravan parade of trucks transporting birds
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
How many birds do you have now?
I don't like putting labels on things. I have hundreds.
Hundreds. Oh.
Yeah, just right now I have probably 400 to 500 chicks for next breeding season. Yeah.
What, trying to move those all? Oh my God.
Yeah. So, it's and I just don't keep chickens. I have other fowl as well. Like I keep emu and Tibet and yak, and everything is going. So
you have full size emus?
Yeah.
Oh my God, trying to move those. Oh my God.
Mine are freakishly friendly. So they're easy to handle and stuff, but it's a long drive down there with that kind of livestock. But it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy mackerel.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my stock down to around 60 birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 80.
That's still a lot.
I'm at 83.
Yeah.
I want to get it down. So I brought on, while everyone's buying chickens and everything, I went to the feed store one day and I had two friends mention to me, hey, if you come across the feed store that has some more of those barred rocks, let me know because we're interested.
Mystery barred rocks or barred rocks?
Yeah. So I said, okay. So I went to the feed store and I called him and said, hey, man, this feed store has barred rocks. You want me to get you some? He goes, yeah, that's fine. Give me like 8 of them. I said, okay. He goes, you raise them, and then right before they start laying, I'll buy them from you. And I said, well, they're going to cost more. He goes, oh, right. So he goes, yeah, go ahead and get them from me. So I got them. So then another friend of mine, is a mutual friend of his, said, hey, I heard you got some chickens for him. I said, yes. He goes, can you get me some? I said, yeah. So I got him 7 and raised them up. And I said, hey, your chickens are ready. And both of them said, I really don't want them anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and I'm like, that's chicken shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got stuck with 15 extra birds.
Well, I mean, there's always people looking for hens,
I know.
So, or you could keep them yourself and sell eggs.
Oh, I have been selling eggs. I sell a lot of eggs. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a sign on I have a big sign on my front. I have a big white vinyl fence across the front of my property.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a sign on it that says fresh eggs and has my phone number on it. And I'm getting more and more calls every week for eggs.
That's good. That's good.
I got a big neighborhood right down the road from me next door, and I got one and they're building across the road from me. So it's only going to get, I'll get more and more customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. That's how I started. When I got back into, I grew up on a farm. Like I'm, the cliche of farm girl. We had horses, chickens, rabbits, like everything. And when I became a mom, I'm like, I need to get back to my roots, because I want my kids to be brought up in the country and, things like that. And I just started selling my eggs. And next thing I know, here I am at Cackle. So it took a completely different turn, but I love it.
I'll probably end up working for a hatchery someday soon. No.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Wouldn't change anything about it.
No, I'm gonna work on doing this poultry event and have it maybe once or twice a year.
That would be perfect. Yep.
Yeah. So the gal that's at the vet's office at Companion Animal Hospital Waller, where Bailey goes to the vet now. I met Sarah Thomas that works there, and she's a huge chicken lover, and she probably owns 100 chickens herself, and every other animal, kind of like yourself. But she's a vet tech there, and she has a chicken that got bitten by her dog accidentally, and they're asking about treatment and everything. So there's a picture of her on their Facebook page for the animal hospital, and they're using the phobia light therapy for the chicken's wound.
Really?
Yeah. So I know someone that offered that to me because his daughter does it on horses. And
Okay.
I get huge open wounds on my legs because of my poor circulation.
Okay.
And he said, hey, let's get you hooked up with my daughter and have her use it on your legs to see what happens,
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't happen. But so she's using it on her chicken. And I said, are y'all going to do this as a business? She goes, for the vet's office. She goes, I'm going to have to look into that. But,
Right.
Yeah, because we don't have many vets around here working on chickens.
That's, that's like, you're seeing more and more of that in a lot of places. But what a lot of people don't understand is that to be an avian vet, like a certified avian vet, it's another 10 years of schooling. It's a hard specialty to go into because all bird species are just complex animals, and it's harder to diagnose them with things. Usually by the time you're seeing any type of symptoms, it's already progressed, to being in the severe chronic, or, you can't turn back now. And so it's harder, medicine to work with. So it's a 10 years on top of everything else. So there's just not a lot of avian vets anywhere. And even here in Michigan, and like, we're a big livestock state, we're having a hard time finding vets to see any of the farm animals now. Like the rural areas where everyone has chickens and goats and pigs and horses and sheep and everything like that, we have to go drive for hours to go to a vet that will see our livestock.
You got a little freeze up here again. Shall I come back on in a second here?
That
Coming back. There you go.
Yeah,
There's you back again.
yeah, lost signal again.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky because where I'm at, I have Dr. Pohl as my vet. So
I have Howard.
right. Well, if you need a bird to see a
I have Howard.
You can't get better than Howard. I love Howard.
Marissa too, but Howard comes here once a month to do the
Yeah.
podcast. So I have Howard. Yeah. And Howard likes my coffee.
Win-win.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Too funny. Yeah, so it's crazy. Harris County, with the county I'm at, for many years, it had the largest population of horses in the whole state of Texas, where the city of Houston's at.
Really?
Yeah, Harris County had the largest population of horses. I mean, my neighborhood that I grew up in, you could drive 1 minute and see a horse.
Huh.
In Houston. Yeah. And just around the corner from my house, there was a field of horses in it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And,
how living in Amish country, there's horses everywhere, and everyone keeps horses here too. Like you when you're on the back roads, even in town, sometimes you have to be careful because it's not just the Amish that have their horses on the road, but people ride saddleback, bareback, they ride their horses all over here. Like
mm-hmm.
we are so like rural where I live. All the businesses in our little town have the hitching posts for horses. So, but we don't have many vets in the area that will see horses. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got more and more. I mean, we have a lot and so forth for horses.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Miss Bailey got bored. She had to come up and join the podcast as well.
She's like, what, Dad?
What's going on, y'all? What are y'all talking about, So, yeah, I'm bringing her in on there. Oh, God, you're so funny. That dog's the greatest. So, she gets along with all my chickens very well.
Yeah.
And me, I'm retired law enforcement. I carry a gun 24/7. Just the way I am. I live out in the country, but I still carry a gun. It's just the way I am. It's just
right.
Part of life for me now. But so the other day, a young rooster, pecked her. And this is Bailey, my service dog. She's my world. She's pretty much saved my life,
Mm-hmm.
That rooster's lucky I wasn't armed at the time.
Really?
I would have shot it. I actually went for my gun.
Yeah. He was aggressive towards her.
Yeah. And she yelped. And I didn't have my gun on me. If I had, I would have shot her right then and there. But I sold the rooster, got rid of it. Yeah, but
there gets, and it's not every breed or every rooster, but they go through like these hormonal phases as they mature, and some of them can get testy right before that burst of hormones, and it comes with the hobby.
Oh yeah. So yeah, because it's like, well, I'll have my chicken, but don't mess with my Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah. She means more to me than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hated to get rid of that rooster. He was a beautiful olive egg rooster. Gorgeous bird, And,
but sometimes you have to make those difficult decisions.
Yeah, I know. So, but it's all right. So I have another olive egg rooster. I call him Special K. And when he was born and everything, he was always acting strange, walking and everything. And I don't know what happened with him, but he later on, as he grew older, he got the wry neck.
Okay.
And got him treated and everything. Came out of it and everything, but he still tilts his head to one side and his comb hangs way over.
Okay.
Like comb over,
Mm-hmm.
And he can't walk that well, and he can't fly that well either. It's hilarious when he tries to fly. It's just like, and he walks the same way. So I thought, I'll get rid of him someday. Well, I ended up keeping him.
Yeah.
And he's just cracks me up,
Yeah.
So I'll bring up a picture of him, but I'll hang on to him. Where's he at here? Oh. Yeah. So does your husband do all this with you, or does he work something else?
No, it's just me, my boys and I. Mostly Mom does it. My oldest and my youngest like the birds. My middle son is terrified of chickens, and he tries to avoid the birds at all costs. But my oldest is 11, and then my youngest is almost 5, and oh yeah, he's cute, and they are very hands-on with the birds.
Oh, that's great. That's
yeah.
great.
Yep. So it's a full-time. When you get to a certain point, it's a full-time gig with your livestock.
I'm sorry. I thought you told me you were married when I met you.
No, I'm not married.
I thought that was your husband that was with you that day.
That's my not married. He's just my partner in life.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I meant then. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
He's still around?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then you have help with the moving.
We're gonna need more than that. We're gonna have to call the troops in for this one.
Yeah, I think so. That's true.
Man.
Man, having your boys and all those chickens, what a move that's going to be.
It's
Yeah,
it's definitely it's gonna be an adventure.
yeah. It
So,
sounds
because it's
like
not,
it.
because I have a bunch of livestock dogs as well. So it's I mean, there's a lot of little heads and mouths and feet that are moving, with us. It's not just we're, going down there and starting over. I'm taking the 11, 12 years of my work with me. So,
So you've got four-legged livestock as well.
yeah.
Wow, that's going to be a heck of a move. Yeah.
The yak, the yak are probably going to be the most difficult one to get moved down there because mine are halter trained and they're domestic, but they're still very stubborn animals and pretty large. So
Wow. I think I'm gonna stick to my chickens.
yeah. To be honest with you, all my other animals are way easier than my chickens.
But they're a lot lighter to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So, anything new with Cackle coming up?
We have a lot of projects that we're working on. Like we have a lot this year. We've been working on the chick truck. And so I
Yeah, I
don't know.
saw pictures of that.
Yeah, so and that's been going really well. And a lot of people are afraid of the whole shipping thing, getting chicks, which I understand because there are horror stories out there about it, and there are people who've had bad experiences, unfortunately. Um, and so there are people who are put off with having them shipped, and then sometimes the weather's against them, and once they leave our trucks, we have no control of what happens to them. So there are always risks, with the shipping, but this helps minimize the loss of that. The chicks get to their home safely because we are going to different parts of Missouri, and we have the chicks with us. So, we don't have to depend on feed stores or the mail, and so we know exactly what those chicks are going through and experiencing, and the people who work the truck are all experienced poultry handlers, so they're in good hands. But it gets more people access to the cackle birds, and it's been really good. And with the high demand of chicks this year, we're able to get people birds that maybe miss out on the spring run or their feed stores aren't getting them. So the chick truck it's been really fun. It's been a good thing for the hatchery, and it puts cackle birds in other places, and because not everyone wants to drive to the storefront, which I get it, especially with gas prices constantly going up. So they kind of get the best of both worlds. They get their cackle birds, their fresh chicks. So that's been the big project this year, and then next year it'll be even better. But like every year, we're always working on bettering our breeds and improving the genetics and things like that. So actually the blog, there's a blog post that will be going up on our website in a few days about the shredder gene in the lavender and South bluebirds. We have the lavender Orpingtons and the South blue Americana, and over time you start to see the shredder gene in the lavender bird. So right now we're working on split pins to better the feather quality in those, and we actually have a blog post coming out in a couple of days talking about that shredder gene and how to fix it and things like that. That's another big one. And then we're working on the feather sexing in our heritage breeds so that we can sell those in the future as sex birds instead of straight run. So those are just some of the mini projects that we have going on at the hatchery. So, but there's always there's always stuff going on, and we're always trying to change things for the better and improve, the entire poultry experience for all of our customers.
So the trucks you have, they're going out in Missouri. How many birds do they hold?
It's different. They can hold a couple hundred birds. I don't know if you've seen the inside of them. They have special shelves on the sides to where we can, put each box safely. So they're
It
stacked
looks
on
like
the
bread
side.
trucks, old bread trucks or something,
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's all rebuilt on the inside to safely hold um, the chicks so they're not bouncing around, or if something happens, they have to slam on brakes or something like that. The boxes ain't, moving. Um, and there's several hundred, chicks each truck, time it goes out. We are actually hatching specifically for the chick truck. So, it's not like they're just all overflows. It's scheduled birds, and it's not just common stuff. We put some of the unusual and the hard to get stuff in there too. So, it's a good variety of birds going out. So,
So are they going to people's houses or are they going to
no, they will
businesses?
have like a going to like a feed store, or they'll have a certain location they go and they set up for the day, and people will come to the truck. There's usually a team of like 2 or 3 people in there, and there'll be a list of everything with what's brought on the truck that day. And then they can put their order in, someone boxes them up, and then they get to go home with their chicks. So
That's great. That's
yeah.
really neat. I like that idea.
Yeah, and it's almost like the ice cream truck, but instead it's chicks. So we're proud to say that we're the only hatchery that's doing stuff like this. So we're trying to revolutionize the industry and grow with the demand and improve all of our customers' experience with the whole poultry hatchery. Because I know a lot of hatcheries get bad reps, and Cackle is one of the last hobby hatcheries. So we are kind of ran a little bit different than other hatcheries. So it puts us in a different little category itself. And we're trying to break that stigma out there that hatcheries are bad. Hatcheries only care about profit. And, we're not like that. It's the whole hatchery itself. We're just one big family. And, we treat our customers like they're in that family as well. So we're there at, during our business hours. We can take phone calls, answer questions, help everyone out. If you do have a problem, we'll try to find a resolution to fix it. And we don't go all year with the birds. Like, we give them their time off. Like, we don't force a molt to make them go back to laying. We give them that time off. We keep small pens. We have multiple breed pens spaced out, so we always have something available in case something, there's a loss or something like that. We have a diverse in genetics. So we're a little bit different than some of the other hatcheries. I mean, we're still commercial, but we're still a hobby hatchery. And then I think that definitely puts Cackle into a different category than some of the other hatcheries. And we have a list of projects that we haven't even started yet. So, but we're constantly trying to make improvements, and education has been a big thing lately. Community outreach stuff to, knowledge is power. And the more that we can put that out there and help all the people getting in the poultry, the better everyone across the board is going to be with their poultry.
I volunteer with the Harris County Hospital District here in Harris County. It's the county hospital, but it's one of the top in the nation. I mean, it's the business. They have the busiest emergency room in the state of Texas as well. Wow. But they're building a whole new facility. They have us involved working with everyone and getting it set up and planned correctly. I spent a lot of time going to the hospital to wound care because of my legs. I'm not diabetic, but I have a severely poor circulation in my legs, and I get openings and so forth. But I constantly in the wound care center, and I go there for health. I use my insurance and I go there because the care is better than I get at a doctor's office. I mean, you go to a doctor's office, you might have an hour wait to see your doctor. You go in there, you're in and out of there in 15 minutes. And the care is outstanding, especially the hospital care is great. But we're planning stuff out. Well, the main facility I work at, which is the LBJ Hospital, named after Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president, has a farm on it, and we have food deserts in Houston, which means there are no stores in these neighborhoods for people to go get groceries.
Really?
There's convenience stores. There's little corner stores where you can buy booze and beer and wine and cigarettes and lottery
Mm-hmm.
tickets and junk food, but there is no place to have vegetables. The stores won't open up in there because of theft and everything else. And they got to drive out of their neighborhood to go get food. So we're supplying vegetables from our farm and giving it to the community centers in these food deserts. That's what we call them, food
That's
deserts.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
So I've been talking up about the eggs too.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just like, we give people 2 chickens.
Right.
Or 3 chickens in their backyard.
Yep.
And they use their scraps and feed the scraps to their chickens and everything. It's a no-brainer right there. Yeah.
Right. Because there are, what's happened is breeds have been, the instinct and the ability to fend for themselves has kind of been bred out of our birds. But when you get those true heritage lines too, or not a utility commercial production line bird, they can still go out and forage for food, and they're not what I call feed bed suckers, where they just sit in front of the feed bowl all day. There are some that are very active that can find little bits of grass and bugs and even little mice and lizards and snakes, and those kind of communities that they would do well. Eggs are so nutritional too. They have almost all of the vitamins and minerals in them. So, that would be wonderful. Set everyone up with a couple birds or even like a community coop or something like that.
Yeah. Even if they just came by and got free eggs,
Yeah.
And then once again, the manure from the chickens is great for the gardens.
Yep.
Yeah. So they might be doing something like that, which I think is a great idea. Yeah.
That would be good.
I did something for the first time this morning. I give my chickens frozen treats, watermelon, cucumbers, turnip greens, spinach on occasionally. I'll make them scrambled eggs using their own egg shells, mixed in garlic and pepper flake and so forth. And I've always heard, that chickens, of course, they eat meat too, so I give them sardines too. They love sardines, and I've heard that sardines actually help them start producing eggs. And actually, I see a difference in them when they're young and they're about to lay eggs. But I actually went to Costco Tuesday. You have Costco's by you?
Yeah, we have Costco. Yep.
And I love their roasted chicken.
Yeah, they have
chicken.
It's good.
And they're big, and they're hard to beat for $6.
Yeah.
So I'll get a couple meals out of it, then pull as much off I can and make chicken salad or pasta salad with it.
Yeah.
So I had this carcass last night, and I've always heard that, man, you can give them to the chickens and they'll go nuts over it.
Yep.
So this morning I went out to them this morning, and I laid that on the ground. And they've never had it in their life. Never have they had.
They went nuts for it though, didn't they?
They went ballistic over it. Even the young leghorns I have in there, they went nuts over it too. It's like they knew to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's it's good protein for them too, and there's no waste from that bird that provide it for you and providing for your bird. So it's a good way to get rid of all the waste. So there's no waste whatsoever.
Yeah, so if someone's eating a chicken in one of these desert areas of Houston, the leftover chicken, they can throw it in there, feed their chickens too.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Yep. And that's like chickens eat everything, and everything eats chicken. Like, it's really good to have a couple birds around because it minimizes everyone's output for waste. So, that's what we have, a compost pile here. And they even get into the compost pile, and we don't really have any waste between all the livestock. Like the chickens get mostly everything, but the dogs don't eat, the chickens will. So, it's nice to be able to do that.
Well, my chicken tunnels here in that picture, there's a tunnel coming off the main coop, and it goes into a little 4x4 cube I have.
Okay.
That has a roof over it, a perch, and so forth, so they get in there during the day. And it's connected to another tunnel. Well, I move those every day. Well, I move it every other day, so they're always over fresh grass and everything. And I don't know if you can see in the picture, but there's like a plastic netting behind the one, and that's
Okay.
covering up
Yeah.
an area where I have Bermuda grass growing, and it keeps the chickens out because in the evenings I let my Easter eggers and olive eggers free range for a couple hours for exercise, and they go out and dust bathe and everything,
Yeah.
and they eat, they go in the compost pile and dig and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the only ones that are truly free ranging,
Right.
you know, because the other ones are in the chicken tunnels, and then my ones out front, they're in a 200-foot poultry fencing.
Mm-hmm.
So they free range out there all day long, but
Right.
you know, they're still within a fence.
Yeah.
But the Easter egg and the olive eggers, they go out there and they love it, but they go
Yeah.
throw the compost pile.
That's
But
like
this,
my Easter eggers. When I let the girls out, they always go the furthest. Like, and it makes me nervous because where I live, I live on a trout stream, and it brings all the predators in. So we have water, we have pasture, we have meadow, we have forest all around us. We have every predator, and when they go out super far, I get so nervous.
no, I'm
But
sure
it's
you do.
that the Easter eggers are good for that foraging, and they love it, and they're good at it. So
Yeah. And I saw them with a grass snake the other day.
a grass
I mean,
snake.
a big grass snake too.
Were they all running after it?
No, they're tug of war.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
People don't understand. A lot of people don't understand is they love their proteins. Chickens are not vegetarians. They love their proteins. I found this is a horror story, but I was checking our propane levels one day in the summer. I lifted the lid and there was a squirrel's nest in there. And the poor thing had several little pink babies in there and they fell out. And my chickens seen them like right now, and they were white lightning to them little squirrel babies. And
Mm-hmm.
I saved 3. I tried saving all of them, but they were just ravenous. They were just pulling them apart, and one would get them, and 50 of them would run after that one, and there was just nothing left of them. They love their proteins. They love their proteins.
I gotta show you something I bought. See if I still get the picture of it on here. So I've been noticing mice,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I got to do something about it. Well, Rich from Old Sweet Farm had a video recently, and I must have taken the picture off of this Victor tin metal mouse trap.
Okay.
It has 2 entrance holes on the sides, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
then you open up the lid, and he puts a little peanut butter in there, and he sets it out in his barn, and they crawl in the holes and they get stuck.
Huh.
And I thought, well, that's pretty neat. So I bought 2 of them from, oh, heck, here it is right here. I haven't still seen them. This is one I haven't used.
Okay.
But the other one, I've been using the heck out of. This one's brand new. But it's got the holes on the side where they enter, you know. And this is made by Victor. It's called the Victor Tin Cat. And the one I've been using, I haven't had any more in there. It's like I caught all the mice in the area. But the first night I used it, I put a little peanut butter in there, and the next one I look at the sides, you can see some legs moving around the side. And I went, wow, I caught some, you know. I opened it up just to look at them, and they, and I went, ah! You know? Well, I slammed the lid shut real quick, and I threw it on the ground, and they went back in it, you know.
Huh.
So I took it, and I put it in my coop right there with the hardware mesh on it, where it'd be hard for them to get out, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I opened it up inside there, and I threw it, you know, and the mice, and the chickens went.
Yeah,
right
they
after.
love it. They love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the mouse traps, have you seen the ones that go on top of the 5-gallon buckets? Like there's these little ramps.
And they fall in.
Those work really well. We get them. We see them close to the barns and the houses in the winter months. I have 10 barn cats, so we don't get a lot. But when it does get cold, my cats are not out and as active as much. They're usually, in front of the wood stove. But we will just have the bucket just set up somewhere, and we still get mice in it. We don't even have it baited or anything. They just go in there, and that has been one of the best mouse traps ever. Wow. I really like those ones, and we got the neighbors all using them now too, because we have even though we're kind of like Amish country, we're still like a little vacation, your weekend cottage type of area too. So we have neighbors that are just their little cottages, so they're vacant. So the mice come in, and they all have the buckets now,
Mhm.
and they work well.
Well, that idea's been around for 40 plus years.
Do you know there's just
Because
a YouTube channel for all the different mice traps? Like, I mean, there's medieval ones on there that the guy uses. Like, it's crazy.
well, I was a busboy in a Chinese restaurant when I was 13 years old.
Oh boy.
I lied to him and told him I was 15 years old because I was a big kid.
Right.
I'm 6'8", but I was a big kid then. And they believed me, so I went to work for a Chinese restaurant. And I went in there one day, and there's this bucket. And on the bucket was a rubber band with a piece of card on it, a piece of metal on there. I'm like, what is this? He goes, it's a mouse trap. I said, what? Yeah, and sure enough, it's the same thing. They crawl up there, and they step on the thing, and they fall over. And the rubber band brings it right back up again.
That's interesting. Like, they're very effective.
Yeah, and they'd have water in it, and the mice would drown. And they take it out, and you know what happened to the mice?
They're no more, right?
They ate them.
Wait, the mice ate the other mice, or the people ate the mice?
The workers ate the mice.
No.
Yes.
I guess, waste not, what not.
So there was a guy that actually lived in the restaurant. In the back room, he had a little office with a bed, and he was directly from China, and he was one of their main cooks. He was an awesome cook, and he took a cold shower, like, I don't know how many times a week, but he had a garden hose and a shower stall that had a nail in the end of the hose, so the water would come out in two different directions, a little pressure and everything, and that was a shower. And it drained outside the back door. They had a hose going out the back door of the restaurant, But he would catch rats and mice, and they'd eat the whole thing.
Really?
Yes, and that's.
I mean, I guess it's a cultural thing too, so you have to respect that. But
it took me many years to ever eat Chinese food again.
Really?
Yeah, it did. I was like, oh my God, no way. Yeah. Oh yeah. So it was a good time though. Oh, we got more people chatting here. What we have here? Christine, it's about time you showed up. Christine Petruska, she's one of our regular listeners. She goes, I'm sorry I'm late. But she's a regular on the show. But real quick, I'm thinking I got to go talk. I'm going to have a meeting today at a place called 2920 Roadhouse. And it's right across the street from my house. I mean, I can walk there. On Friday and Saturday nights. They have live music, and I've been wanting to go see their concerts, but I can't see spending $50 for a ticket when I can sit on my front porch and listen to the whole thing.
Right.
And I can, and I clear the bell, and I do, and it's funny. I sit out there listening to great country music and everything.
Yeah.
But I want to have the event there.
Yeah.
Because they have a bunch of trees and nice big grassy areas. I can set up tents and all that. So I'm going over there today to talk to them about having the event there.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be good. So Bailey and I are going to go over there and have lunch and go see them today. So go see girl's name over there is Taylor, the daughter of the owner. Taylor Burmaster. We're going to go see her today about bringing their facility to have this event at. And like I say, if when we have it, if y'all want to come down, like you did with the other one, Cackles are welcome to come again.
Yeah, send us some information and
it's something I need some Cackle is right there. I need some of those.
Let me make myself a reminder here.
Yeah. Any signage too, if they want to send. So yeah. But yeah. So we're gonna have I think my feed store is gonna get involved with it, and I'm gonna talk to the other feed stores around and get some donations and so forth. We'll have some drawings and so forth at it. But
that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll have speakers like Howard and whoever else comes out. Like if you came in for it, we'd have you speaking as well.
Okay.
I'd love to get someone out there that knows how to butcher chickens. I mean, I know how to do it, But I'd like to have someone that does it on a regular basis, that has the equipment to show it off,
Yeah, got to do it. And yep.
Me, I do it all by hand, I grew up hunting. I used to breast out all my own ducks and geese and quail and so forth and dove. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to get into quail as well.
I love quail. I have the Snow White. Those ones they're easy to sex too. You don't have to vent them. But the Bob Whites are really good too. They're good for production. They have a quick turnaround. So they're good for small spaces. So if you don't have the room, but you still want to reap the benefits of growing your own food or being self-sustaining, quail are a good alternative. So
I love eating quail. I love eating.
Yeah. Actually, when I was down in Texas there a couple of months ago with you guys, I had a quail taco, and
Really?
yeah, it was amazing.
Who had that?
It was amazing.
Who had that?
I can't even tell you the name of it. There were so many restaurants. I ate so much food when I was down there.
A lot of good food down there.
There's a lot of good food down there.
It is. I mean, just in my area alone, we have a little place called Mel's Country Cafe. That has great burgers, great chicken fried steak, great chicken fried chicken. They have beef tips and rice and catfish, all great food. Family restaurant's been around a long time, but they had a fire, and everyone's missing it. So there's another restaurant called Goodson's in town, which has been around for ages, and it's all of a sudden went downhill. It just wasn't the same. So I found out this little restaurant called Vaquero's Grill. And Vaquero's Grill. Christine, by my house. What's by your house, Christine? But it's called Vaquero's Grill. And I went in there and I ordered the chicken fried steak. And they brought me out a square roll. And I'm like, wow, that looks familiar. I took a bite of the roll. I said, I've eaten these rolls before. Where have I eaten these rolls before? So then they brought out the chicken fried steak. And I was like amazed. I was like, what is this? And, well, Christine, if 2920 Roadhouse is by your house, then we're neighbors. That's funny. I have to find out where she lives because we're neighbors then. So I went in there and their chicken fried steak was amazing. Well, that's what happened is the people that owned Vaquero Grill used to work for Goodson's Cafe. They quit. After 31 years, they quit working for them, and they opened up their own restaurant. And the food is out of sight. Oh my God, it's so good. She's on Telge. Well, you're not that close. I'm talking to Christine. She's telling me where she's at. She's on Telge Road, and I'm on. I'm like I said, across the street from 2920 Roadhouse. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna really push on getting this together. I was actually going to do something at my house because I'm on some acreage.
Okay.
And I have plenty of room for like up to 40 cars to park and everything. But then I had a gal come by and bought 3 chickens from me. And she actually performed PT tests on them. And she wore booties and coveralls.
I get it.
And she actually lost all her chickens to a disease. A woman came by her place and to buy some chickens. And next thing you know, all her chickens died.
Yep.
And she found out that this woman had lost all her chickens. And whatever disease she had. Yeah.
Yep. Good biosecurity measures needs to be taken, not just with chickens, with all your livestock. So that's why a lot of places are closed. Cackle's, we're a closed farm. And that's, one of the reasons why we have everything spaced out in multiple flocks, to keep our birds safe, and we don't allow visitors to the farms. And when it's hatching season, that's all kind of like quarantine for employees only. And because a lot of people want to see all the hatching stuff and things like that. Well, October, when we're done for the season, people can come in and take tours of the hatchery and get to see everything. But biosecurity is huge for poultry. Huge.
That's why I said I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it elsewhere. Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea because you don't want to bring anything home.
Well, that's good to see that Christine just came up here. She goes, I do PT testing too. So yeah, Christine, I'll be contacting you about that because I want to have mine all tested. I do with that. Yeah. So that's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
And if Cackle wants to make any announcements, or if you want to make an announcement or talk about colored eggs, you're welcome to come on the show anytime you want.
Sure, we can set something up. I'll talk your ear off on colored eggs.
Yeah,
all day long.
If you want to come on once a month, you're welcome to come on once a month. Yeah, like Howard has a deal. Now I'm doing podcasts on Sunday nights as well sometimes.
Okay.
So if you want to come on one Sunday evening, and talk chicken, you're welcome to it,
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm getting some shirts printed up that says I'm a chickener.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't have listeners, I have chickeners. So I'll get you one of those, and then I'll have you one that says on the back of it, it's not like a staff shirt. It says Expert.
Yep, Expert.
Yep. Expert. So
yep.
I'll get
I
you one of those.
speak foul language.
Yeah, you speak foul language. That's a good one too. Yeah. Yeah. So YouTube asks you now when you put on your videos, is it child safe video?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we use foul language time to time.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be doing more videos here at the house of the chickens, but I also do leather work. I do custom leather work. I've been doing leather work all my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be videotaping my leather work, and then I build knives, and I'll be doing that as well, and everything. So Christine. I wish these chat messages just pop up automatically.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, once again, we thank you for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And once again, I got to mention this real quick. September the 9th, we will be in Waxahachie, Texas.
Okay.
For the biggest little chicken event in Texas, September 9th, Ellis County Poultry Trade Days, Waxahachie, Texas. We'll be out there set up Saturday. I thought we were going to be out there Friday set up, but they don't have the facility on Friday. So we're going to go out there. We're going to drive up there Friday, get a hotel room, and then get up in the early in the morning to go set up and have a podcast Saturday morning there. And be videotaping everything out there as well. And learning about their event so that we could have our own event down here.
Good. That would be, the more things like that out there, the better it will be for everybody.
Yeah, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are. They are. That's
one
of my favorite things is going to like the conventions and the shows and all that.
Yeah. So that'll be good. And then don't forget, I still got the ugliest chicken contest going on. If you go on the Facebook page for the podcast, post a picture of your ugliest chicken. If it's uglier than Brittany, then whoever has the most votes, I'll be ending it in another month or two. But whoever has the most votes will win a Chicken Expert coffee mug. Or no, I'm a Chickener coffee mug. Here's a picture of it right there of the podcast, and a bag of Bailey's Brew coffee. And Bailey's Brew Coffee, once again, is, where's this at? There it is. Let me show this real quick. Bailey'sBrewCoffee.com, discount code BOCCAST to save 10% on your order. So we appreciate it if you buy some coffee from us. If you're in the area, you don't have to pay for shipping. You can just ask to pick it up right from the house. I don't mind you coming over and picking it up. So, but you're not going to walk around my chickens unless you got some booties on your feet. In fact, I'm thinking about buying some package of booties just to have here.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I have some for if I go places. I put them on, or I don't wear this. I have shoes that I only wear outside the house, and then barn shoes, and Yep.
So, all right. Well, we thank you once again for coming on.
Well, thank you.
Talking to it, enjoyed learning about more and more about chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep, I'm happy to help.
Yeah. So, you got a good voice for it. So, you're welcome to come on anytime you want.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all. And we thank y'all for listening. Please click on the YouTube channel and click on subscribe if you would, and click like and share it. If you click on the little bell, that is to send you a reminder saying when we have another show pop up and so forth like that. So please do so if you would. And if you want some coffee, please go to Bailey'sBrewCoffee.com and check that out. So once again, thank you very much for coming on. And she's already gone by already. And we'll see you next time on the podcast. Bye-bye.